Okay, so here I am trying out a helmet review on this helmet I just bought. It's called the Zebra Vertuoso uh, Classic Full Face Helmet. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna open open the box. Um, I already took a peek inside, but for the sake of for the sake of the audience, I'm also going to be discovering this helmet as I as we go along the way. So as you can see, that's the box. Well, that's the front, and uh, it's pretty banged up, definitely. But the contents are safe. Let's go to the side. So this is the actual picture of the helmet, the Virtuoso plain. I chose the white one because usually I ride at night. Okay, other side, same. Other side, it has the zebra helmet socials. Anyway, without any other bullshit, let's go and open this up. Anyway, I'm gonna show you the top side, which has the safety rating. It's DOT and ECE R2205. Anyway, this being said, here where I'm at, we have a local. Uh, we also have a local uh, helmet certification, which is ICC. But however, ICC isn't that stringent as opposed to DOT, and ECE is definitely more stringent than DOT. So, as long as you have the visible rating of ECE, even if you don't have DOT, this doesn't matter. This matters. Okay, so without any, without further ado, and no more bullshit, let's try and open the box. Also have with me a helmet donut holder, so in case we have to turn the helmet upside down. Also have my tripod stand. Okay, so we nip the tab. See, too many panels. Okay, so first thing we're greeted with is helmet, the extra visor, which um, I asked the seller about is if the helmet comes with a tinted visor, you get a free clear visor. However, if the helmet is marketed with a clear visor, you get a tinted visor. So let's get this out of the way. As you can see, that's the tinted visor. Let's see if I can hold it up to the light. Yeah, it's got some resistance, but let's unbox this later. So far, I'm just glad they have a tinted visor for this because I would look really silly without the tinted visor on this. Yeah, it feels premium, feels sturdy, even has a rubberized tab. I took a peek with the actual helmet just to uh, say again, but I put it back. I haven't taken out the labeled sticker on the visor, so we both have fun in uh, opening up opening up this box and revealing the helmet. Okay, now actual helmet. The helmet dust bag. is has really thin felt cloth. It's the same as my, how would you say? It's the same as my Gile and Bell helmet dust covers, but it's not as classy as the satin and full felt one of my AGVs, as well as the KYT. Anyway, going back. So, Zebra. As you can see, it also has a lace lock. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of the box for the meantime, so I have more space. I use the helmet donut. So as you can see, that's the lace. This is the lock. And here we go, the actual helmet. So it's got those safety quick releases. It's got a chin curtain, which I was also asking about the seller about this, because I will never be getting a helmet without a chin curtain. For one, I don't like getting dust in my face. Two, this prevents wind noise from the bottom of your helmet. So, as you can see, it's made out of faux leather. You can see the imprint of zebra here. It's looks really nice. It's also feels premium, but you know it's faux leather because faux leather is more grippy. Also, the inner lining is how do you say this? Nylon, nylon and cotton, which is smooth to wear. So don't expect it to grip your head that much. But if you adjust the straps of the helmet to your neck, this will definitely grip. That being said, helmet straps are quick release, which is pretty odd for a classic helmet, because I am usually more familiar with double D-ring, which is the old school fastening helmet fastener. Also feels like you have a belt around your neck, if that makes sense. So what it includes is this little booklet, a what seems to be a 3mm Allen wrench. This is for the if you're gonna be swapping out visors, you're definitely gonna be needing this. So keep it handy inside your motorcycle or your toolkit. So, do I wanna remove this right now? I mean, sure, what the hey. At least let's do it properly. Okay, showing off the whole helmet. Yep, that's the whole helmet. So as you can see, if I should make myself a bit farther, so that's the helmet. So why I was stating earlier why I was thankful for for the smoke visor is because the shape of the helmet is classic style, and it somewhat reminds you of how do you call this, spaceship helmet or a skull. That's why it would look better with a smoke visor instead of a clear one, because a clear one, I can definitely, you'll definitely be using this at night, but during the day, I feel rather exposed if people see my eyes with this, with a clear visor. Okay, so let's start off with the mouthpiece. Mouthpiece is, what is this? Five gaping line holes. I also took a peek earlier. It has a switch inside that you need to slide left and right. So just to swipe right, it's gonna close the vent. Swipe left, it's gonna open all those vents. So as you can see, intake vent. These top vents don't actually have a pass-through inside the helmet. No, it's not illuminated on my side. Doesn't have a pass-through here. So it means there should be some air channeling going inside this top intake all throughout this helmet. There's probably some holes somewhere here that's gonna try and cool down the top of the head. Then it's gonna go across, then go outside these exhaust ports. You know, having exhaust vents on a helmet is better than having all that heat circulate inside. So at least here, you know, the heat is gonna get expelled. Okay, visor. So we now go on to this. As you can see, the detents are only two detents. It's half open and full open. You can also see the logo. Let's see. And there. You can also see the logo. It has a really nice nice, soft and durable breath guard or nose guard. If you can see, if my camera can catch it, this also has a air vent on before the nose guard, which means this would also try to defog the visor. But for me, I have this anti-fog spray that I'm using. So it's good for around 5 to 6 days. Let's say a week before the effectiveness of the anti-fog spray wears out. So as you can see, that's how the helmet looks. It's got that really tasteful classic feel. However, that being said, on this helmet, even if it is circular in shape, this is by no means that much aerodynamic as compared to, say, KYTTT course or a Gile Falcon. Gile Falcon, AGVK3SP, and then my Bell qualifier, because this mouthpiece it may be circular. It's also got those gaping mouth vents pointed straight. It's also slightly squarish at the top, which means this is gonna generate a lot of drag here in the front of the visor. Also, what I think that would add to the wind noise is this visor locking mechanism. As you can see, there's a little bump over there, so that's gonna create some drag, probably around 60, 80 kilometers. You know. I'll update you in the comments. What else do I have to say instead of cutting this video short? Oh yeah. So let's try out and swap the visors. I won't show myself wearing the helmet, but I'll definitely describe to you exactly how it feels. And that one I am definitely not going to be bullshitting you people about. As you can see, let's just give it a slight twist and loosen it out gently, slowly. As I said, I'm learning as I go, so whatever I'm doing, you're also witnessing. So as you can see, yeah, it's not necessarily a quick release, but it's definitely one of the more understandable ones. So here's the dust cover cap. Here's the actual Allen screw. It's tapered, though I can definitely find substitutes for this that could be stainless steel, definitely more durable and waterproof. Also has a secondary Allen screw over here if you want to detach the locking mechanism in case you want to really clean the contact side of these detents. So let's go to the other side. Put that over here, and we go at it again. Gently twist, feel around, loosen it up slowly. As you can see, just follow the threads. Yeah, I'm kind of sweating, huh? Also, you also have to take notice that before you even dismantle the visor, you always have to put the visor at full open. As you can see, the detent here, full open, before you attempt to dismantle the locks and change the helmet visor. See? So you can easily catch the visor in case the visor wants to jump out. Now we get to unpack this. So it says anti-scratch visor pin lock ready, though I don't know if Zebra offers any pin lock accessories for this type of helmet for now. I'm sure they will, though if I were to be asked, I'm really not familiar with this brand, though I have seen this brand in the past since I was a kid. They're kind of a local company. So far, it looks like their quality of their helmet construction definitely improved. It's local, but the manufacturing is in China. So, as with most every as with most as with most of the things. Uh, Chile is definitely China. Um, Bell is design is US, but recently their um, manufacturing also is based in China. Some of AGV's helmets are produced in China, namely the K3SP. The AGV K1S is manufactured in Vietnam, while the KYT TT course is definitely still manufactured in Indonesia. And that's global. Global KYT doesn't matter. Your hell doesn't matter if your KYT is from the is from the US, UK, Italy. Well, it's an Italy design, but the actual company is based off in Indonesia. The manufacturing is also based in Indonesia. So you're still getting an Indonesian helmet. But I gotta say, you know, I like the EPS safety rating of the KYTTT course. Unfortunately, I really do not like the ventilation, especially for the top vents, not the crown vents, the top vents. They seem to do absolutely nothing. Anyway, I'm gonna do a review on this helmet. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. Either way, it makes me blend into the crowd. Well, now with this helmet, I'm definitely gonna be blending into the crowd because this does not garner attention. It's just plain white. You can see the zebra logo. It's just classic looking, no livery whatsoever. Another zebra logo at the back. Safety ratings, DOT, FMVSS 218. But it did say that this is 2205 ECER 2205, so shouldn't be worried that much. So yeah, since it's just a really plain helmet, just the way I like it. So now let's attach the visors. Okay, so I'm back after being interrupted by my GoPro battery overheating. It's kind of annoying since the GoPro app suddenly had an update and there's no well there's ventilation in this house, but I turned off the electric fan earlier to see if my voice is clear, and my battery only lasted roughly 24 minutes. Anyway, so let's get back. Um, First off, we're gonna be changing the visor. So, um, from clear to smoke. So, like I showed earlier, to do is twist this out, loosen it gently with the threads. Oh, also an update. I can change the visor with the visor being positioned in a closed position. Also, I went ahead and put on my trademark sign in my trademark logo in my helmet. All of my helmets have this kiss mark, so I pretty much call it Lady Luck. You know. Anyway, other side. Gently loosen. Follow the threads. Okay. So all of that is off. Just yank this out. Slap this in. Just follow the detents. Since it's gonna be coming off loose, it's a good thing that I have this helmet donut. I can easily put on the lock again. Usually for this, there are markings on this plastic cover. So usually what I do is there's a marking or an indentation where I'm following this little plastic spot up here. So I put it at the top. Well, either way, it's gonna, once you put it at the top, just feel around, it's gonna be set into place. So put on the screw, do a little reversing until you feel the beginning of the thread of the screw connect. Then you can screw it on gently. Oh, by the way, you only finger tighten this, like fingertip tighten. So when it starts, when the turning starts to fight back, so you stop. Okay, other side. See, it's moving all around. So have to do is set it again. Follow the plastic cap. Watch for the indent. I always follow the indent. So the indent is going on the top. Feel around. See if the plastic cap doesn't move in place. It means it's set. Put on the screw. Again, turn counterclockwise until you feel that the thread of the screw attaches, makes contact. Let's do it again. Oh, no, it's not it. There we go. Just need to feel around. Actually, you know what? Let's do it one more time, just to be safe, because I don't want to cross thread anything. Even if this is a really cheap helmet, still need to take care of my stuff. Okay. Should be. This would definitely be easier if I had my Allen key screwdriver. This little motherfucker, swear to God. All I'm asking is for the threads to doing everything right. Why the fuck? Unless there's some sort of plastic dust that got in. Yeah, it's definitely some plastic dust that got in. Okay. Finger tighten only. Again, finger tighten, so we're done. So that is the smoke visor. Now, for me and your benefit, let's both unseal the protective covers, protective sticker of these zebra visors. Gonna miss it, but I'm half excited to try and test this out. Not sure if later or maybe some other time. But man, does that look badass. Hmm, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so gonna do a double back. So I've got my flashlight with me, so I can show you what I've been saying about this top vent. Also try and show you the switch of the mouth vent. So first off, let me open the helmet, open the visor, switch on the flashlight. So so now you can see the insides of the helmet. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so for these top vents, so as you can see, there's no pass through for those vents, but when you look at the top, you can see there's some uh, contours and some what do you call that? Nylon mesh. So there's definitely some holes over there that are going to pass through the top of your head and try to cool the top of your head down. Then this, um, hopefully, the hot air will get expelled by these exhaust vents. Next up is the mouthpiece switch. I don't know if I can focus it properly here. Let's see. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, there. Yeah, there we go. When you switch it to the what is this? When you switch it to the right, it closes. When you switch it to the left, all 5 vents open. Oh yeah. It's also the Bluetooth intercom ready. Hopefully I can show it. It's somewhere here. Let's peel off this. See? I don't know if you can see. Yeah, see that red spot over there? Yeah, that one. That's the intercom foam filler. So you can mount an intercom inside this helmet. As for the mouthpiece, this is actually, I test worn it earlier. Fucking angle. Swear to God. There we go. For the mouthpiece, mouth part area, I tried wearing it earlier. It's a snug fit. Initially, it's a snug fit, but after a time, probably needs a break-in period. It's gonna get easier to wear. Well, it's easier to wear this helmet if you have a balaclava. If you're wearing a balaclava. Okay, if you can see that area over there. So you can see that the mouth area is actually really spacious. So it doesn't matter if you have a hard mic or a soft mic, it can accommodate that. I'm gonna be putting a magnet mount, well, a magnet attachment for my DJI Mic Mini here soon. So it looks like it can accommodate the space for it. Speaking about mounting, so this thing, don't be fooled, guys. This might have a round helmet. This might be a really round helmet, but there are really limited places where you can put your GoPro on, special or any action cam. But for mine is a GoPro 13 with a media mod, so it's doubly it has some heft to it. That being said, I have a GRX chin mount, so I tried it. I played with it in the mouthpiece. As you can see, yes, it fits, but it only fits 70% because these corner parts are sticking out. So you can, but at your own risk. I suggest putting a tether on the GRX mount. Also, try to change the tape when in case you get this from the fake 3M VHB to the 3M auto heavy duty double-sided tape. Also tried my, as you can see here, also tried my GoPro mounts. This one is from my original GoPro unit, and this one is from my media mod. This is also the original round surface mount. Tried putting it here, playing around with it. Also have that long arm extender. So as you can see, let me try and put this in. Open the rubber tab, snap it in, put the rubber tab back in. There. So yeah, it sits flush. Not a problem at all. It sits flush. However, when you put the arm, yeah, there's some fight to it. But as you can see, it's not as perpendicularly angled. Yeah. I have to do it like that. Get this there. So it's not perpendicularly angled, so it needs to be like this. Unfortunately, the GoPro mount couldn't accommodate it like that. Or let's say, if it did accommodate, GoPro mount with like this plus the media mod, it'll be really heavy and put so much stress on this one single mount, and also your camera angle would be, your camera POV would be slightly off because it's not centered to the helmet. So as you can see, it only barely even reaches the second mouth intake hole. You know, can also put it as a side mount, but I don't think people would be doing that, even if the GoPro has a horizon lock. Still wouldn't. Looks silly. My main goal here was to try and put it in the middle. It's possible like that. However, as you can see, there's barely any there's only 2 strips of contact point, and the main intake vent of the mouth vent is actually in the middle, barely on the sides. It's actually only these 3. So see, so if I cover all of that, then I won't get any air flowing into my helmet. So that sucks. So next best thing is doing up doing it up lollipop style. Not sure if you can see there. So that's the most ideal position. However, you gotta be careful on how you're gonna be mounting it in lollipop position, because you don't want your GoPro or the mount to suddenly hit the visor. The safety purposes. So yeah, that's your best bet for this helmet for the Vertuoso, where you can put your GoPro mount. But if I'm gonna put my GoPro mount here, it's gonna be a bit risky since the GoPro plus the media mod has some significant weight to it. Aside from the vibrations of the motorcycle transferring to your head, then to your helmet. So I don't think even if the adhesive tape is original and strong, I don't think it would last. So I gotta have a backup plan, putting some tether around this area. But either way, this is the most ideal spot go for a GoPro mount for the Zebra Virtuoso helmet. Yeah, it was supposed to be here, but this GRX mount really let me down. As you can see, barely fits. You think it fits, but it doesn't. So you got these outer edges protruding, since after 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 this part suddenly angles itself outward, which you're gonna have some significant space over here. Sure if you can see that. You got some significant space over here, like there. This part right, these top corners, they're not gonna make any contact to the helmet. And one surefire way your for a GoPro mount to be stable and secure on a helmet is have a really wide base. Now, really wide attachment base. So best attachment base is still the curved mount for the GoPro, but however, it's you're gonna be situating the GoPro on top or your action cam on top, so it's gonna look like a lollipop. And I also tried this other. I played around with this other GoPro mount from 2U. I actually have a 2U for my KYT TT course, which I changed the tape for that. As you can see, it looks like it fits. However, do you see the mouth intakes? No, exactly. You need the mouth intakes to feel to cool yourself down in this helmet. Otherwise, you're gonna cook inside. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. However, not really ideal. Oop. I'm gonna be polishing this helmet later. Try to. I'm lightly putting it on. As you can see, oh, there's some slight contact. Yeah. It's still not a. It's still a no go for me. Gonna be trying to do a top side view. Let's see. You think it would connect. Nope. This one. Uh, this one has its outer edges not connecting or barely connects. So I'm trying to look at it even with tape. Nope. It still has some point. Well, actually, a 1 millimeter gap on these edges. These ones. These edges right here. Yeah. So that's a no-go. Now, I haven't really disassembled this helmet just yet, but if it were possible, let's say you have a GoPro camera mount like this with the quarter screw. The crazy thing you could do is probably drill a hole on the opposite side of this shell, attach a longer uh, quarter screw with a washer, and just set it in like that. And that would be the most ideal chin mount position POV for the Virtuoso helmet, or maybe here. I don't know. That would look nice. You know, it's got this retro camera POV style. Anyway, I'm not gonna be just toying around with the idea. Also, I'm not fond of putting that many stickers on my helmet. I want the helmet to look as clean and basic as possible, so I don't get any unwanted attention even when I'm riding. Aside from this, yeah. So aside from that, everything is actually good. Oh, let's see. So I'm trying to face it out to the light. Ooh, I can see that there's some light passing through, but you know, it's not a reflective smoke, but let's say the the tint of this helmet is medium smoke, not 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 heavy dark tint, just medium. Yeah, still better than light. So what else was I gonna do? Oh, I was probably gonna test this out, but definitely for these cheek liners and the forehead liner, I might do that another time. I actually wanna test this first. Oh, intercom, definitely. I forgot. So have my intercom right here. See if it looks nice. So I can imagine the placement of it being around here. Since there's a contour on the helmet that goes all straight all the way around. So I can follow that and put my intercom position somewhere here. Actually, I'm putting it somewhere here. So it looks like that. Almost looks something like that. Just trying to follow the lines. As you can see, maybe a bit like that, maybe like that, just to follow the lines of the helmet, make it look somewhat natural. At least you know I have an intercom. Doesn't look tacky. Well, depends on who you're asking about what uh, tacky style looks like. But for this, it looks like a decent position for the intercom. So yeah, that's about it. So probably the next scene would be me um, testing this out in on the road. I'm gonna be mounting my camera on mounting the GoPro on my scooter. So yeah,